thank you, and welcome back to another incredible episode here at Vida Ed Tech, your place for culture, education, educational technology, and so much more. I am your host, Dr. Latasha Castellolala, and we are excited to welcome you back into the space. Today, my amazing co-host, Marcus Navas, is playing double duty, and we're going to get actually an opportunity to interview him as well as his colleague, Joe Guerrero, to talk about something that we are all know that people are really focused on, which is making the coins come together, making the math work, especially for those who work so hard for our communities, and that's our teachers. Marcos, welcome to the space again. Tell me what is new, my brother.
How are you? It's so happy to be here, especially for this episode. Like you said, I am wearing two hats today, so this is super exciting. So we're gonna try to host the show, but at the same time, we're gonna be talking about something very special that I am very proud to be a part of. And I have my business partner here as well, Joe Guerrero, and we just finished launching, officially launching Teacherpreneur. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about how we can help educators make a little bit extra money for their pocket to help their families and their situation. And I am proud, and humbled to be here and introduce our guest, Joe Guerrero. Joe, welcome to Vida Ed Tech. Joe, how are you today?
I'm doing well. Thank you, Marcos and Lala, for having me. It's the first time I'm doing a podcast interview in the metaverse.
Listen,
Yeah,
welcome to the
well, this is
party.
Yeah, welcome to the party. This is definitely a special platform, and we appreciate you and being courageous to enter a 3D world
Yes.
like this to do something like this. And again, listen, if we can do it, anyone can do it. Really, it just takes some courage and an open mind to jump into new tech like this. So kudos to you for being part of the podcast, and we are super excited to hear all about Teacherpreneur and what's coming down the pipeline.
Absolutely. But listen, we welcome our wonderful guests. We had to give you a little bit of insight, a little bit of background about the incredible people who are here, the incredible people who are out here doing incredible work. Joe is a high school educator working here in North Jersey who's doing some incredible work to help build the future entrepreneurs that are going to be entering into our workforce, into our post secondary schools shortly. He is a masterful, energetic, motivated person focused on business development, marketing, sales, a management professional, a leader in representing institutions, building relationships, both domestically and internationally, and just a person who really excels in multicultural environments, both teaching and learning environments, as well as business environments. And now connecting with Navas and making something that hasn't totally been made and taking it to the next level. Joe, welcome to the show. Tell us about you, sir. We're awesome. We're excited to hear about it.
Oh, Lala, man, I you get me motivated. You're
She's
very
a ball of
energetic.
energy.
Absolutely, I'm feeling it coming my way. That's
Awesome.
fantastic. Yes, so I am really passionate about education and business. Those have been my two passions for most of my life. I started off in the business world, and I've worked my way into different positions. I've been at the executive level of businesses. I am a small business owner. I'm an entrepreneur. I've had several businesses. Currently, my business is mainly focused on real estate investment.
Mhm.
In the past, I had a marketing business, and I've had the opportunity now to become a teacher. My businesses have allowed me to take a pay cut, to leave the corporate world and become a teacher and pursue that passion and bring some of the real world into the classroom. I've always felt that there is a lack for the students of what actually goes on in the real world, the real need. I've felt like a lot of what goes on in the classroom is very siloed. And we all
Mm,
know it doesn't really work that way. We all know that if you are a business, you or an entrepreneur, business owner, you need to understand marketing. You need to understand advertising and you need to understand sales. If you're in marketing, you need to understand advertising and you need to understand sales. If you're in sales, you need to understand business. So you can't really disassociate all of these different what they call is disciplines from each other.
mhm,
In
Hmm.
the school they call them disciplines. They're very siloed. But the reality is that in the real world they all work together. And even if you do work in a job where you're just focused on, being a marketing manager or being a salesperson, you interact with all of the other areas. You just can't disassociate them. And I think it's important for students to be able to understand that, understand how it all works together, and get the opportunity to get a little bit of a taste of all of it, see how it's all interconnected. Because at the end of the day, our economy does not move without all of
mhm.
these working together.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's awesome. And so I do have to say you are unique in the sense where I come across people who go into teaching all the time and then leave teaching to go to corporate.
Mhm,
You were the total opposite. You were in corporate making money, took a pay cut to follow the passion of education and teaching.
mm,
And just I just want to what made you do that? What was the what passion were you chasing? What were you hoping what side of you were you hoping to fulfill by going into education?
So I dabbled in teaching at the K-12 level in 2011. I actually worked at High Tech High School when it was in North Bergen. I was fortunate enough that my business, the company I worked at, allowed me to go midday to teach a class, and
mhm,
then I was able to go work from home. And I kind of fell in love with it. I fell in love with the teaching. I fell in love with the students, and being able to see them grow. When you teach them
mhm,
a lesson or when you interact with them, like, you affect their lives. And when I got the opportunity to do a maternity leave, um, the students I had were the most amazing kids. And it just, something in me just changed where I said, I really want to do this. I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the students. I fell in love with their creativity. I fell in love with being able to motivate them. They motivated me because for some reason I connect really well with the kids. I'm able to build these really deep relationships with them, and I'm able to understand them. And I don't
mm,
know if that's my sales background, if it's my marketing
Hmm.
background, the fact that I try to develop an understanding of the needs. And
mhm,
then my lessons, uh, I kind of customize it to each one of them. What I give them the freedom to be able to express themselves to their particular interests, in terms of, I give a lesson and then they have to produce something, and they like that. But I also spend a lot of time just talking to them, while they're
mm,
working, walking around the classroom, engaging them, to the point where I break down a lot of those barriers. When
Hmm.
they come into the class, they don't know me. They're all very afraid, and they don't know how to behave. And the weeks go by and the months go by, and they feel so comfortable with me that I start to know everything. They share a lot of information with me. They feel comfortable to just be themselves, and that's
mm.
kind of what I enjoy. I like figuring out exactly who they are and helping to develop them, helping them feel that there's nothing that they cannot do.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I think a good friend and mentor of mine, Thomas Murray, he always talks about the most important part of education isn't
Mhm,
the academics, it isn't the discipline, it's the relationship. It's the
yeah.
idea that students see you as a person, as a human, not as a teacher who goes home on the weekends and just reads books, but they see another side of you that cares about them and their well being. And I got
Mhm,
to tell you, that makes the biggest difference with teacher student relationships is that relationship and you treating them as human and just making sure they're good. That goes such a long way with kids. Once they
does.
know you have their back, they will walk through walls for you. And
So
I got
true.
to tell you, I've seen that firsthand with you in the classroom
Mm,
at your school. So Why don't you give us a little bit about what type of programs you're running, what type of
Mhm.
classroom you're doing, and because it is very non-traditional what you're doing in the classroom over at your school district. So why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so my course is developed based, I guess, on my life experience and business experience. First year, the students really understands the basics of graphic design, art. So we learn the software.
Mhm.
I think it's foundational.
Hmm.
Interestingly enough, when I did a presentation about my class, I had somebody that works at Salesforce.com, and they work on, I don't know if it was the UX end, or if it was a sales end, or maybe a combination of both. And after my presentation, he came up to me, he goes, "I'd never really thought about how important graphic design was in like marketing, and in all this stuff." And I kind of put it together for him in the presentation. So starts off with the graphic design, the understanding art, understanding how to create visuals that are attractive. Then
Mhm.
second year we get into sales. We start off with sales. I think the students need to understand sales. Without a sale, there is no business. So
Mhm.
that's pretty foundational to any business, any entrepreneurship venture, whether they go and they work for somebody. Without a sale, there is no business. So we
Hmm.
start off with sales and the understanding of sales, and I try to diffuse the idea that sales is a bad thing. They all come into the classroom. Maybe it's from the movies they see, Hollywood, with the idea of a salesperson being the used car salesman.
Mm.
You're
Yeah.
trying to trick people. You're trying to, be unethical. So we start talking about what sales really is. It's about matching a solution to a problem. It's about helping people
Nice.
at its core. Then we get into advertising and marketing and the difference between advertising and marketing. And then we get into projects and them actually supporting real clients. Marcos happens to be one of the clients for
Yep.
the students. With Latinos in coding, we have two other businesses that are clients. So I
Mm.
want the students to engage with business owners. I want them to engage with marketing people, with executives. I want them to work on projects that are real
Mhm.
and go out there in the real world so they can see the fruit of their labor. But the most important part of that experience is to see the kids the very first time they have that meeting with their business partner, with their client, and they're all like
Hmm.
bottled up in a shell. They don't really know how to react. They're sort of a little,
Mhm.
and to see that evolve to the point where I'm calling my client and they go to the classroom phone and they call their client up, or they're not, they start to feel comfortable. They
Yep.
start to develop this relationship with the clients, and
Mhm.
they really get to understand the business. That's what's really interesting. They get to understand the business better than I do. They understand their clients' needs better than I have to ask them sometimes.
Mm.
Because they have spent so much time talking to these business
Yep.
partners and doing research about their needs, about who their business partners' clients are. That to see that evolution, to see that deep understanding of who the demographic is they're targeting, age group, location, exactly what the services are. That goes a long way for 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds,
Sure.
for them
And
to get that experience.
they are in it to win it, passionate about this. So,
That's
uh,
awesome.
like Joe said, Latinos in Coding is one of the companies that his students are working with. I caught a yelling this past week because I decided to post something from Latinos in Coding on our social media, and these kids saw it. And they went right to Mr. Guerrero's room and say, "Why did he put that out? He should have asked he should have asked us first. It doesn't go with the brand. It doesn't go with this." And I appreciated it because the
Yeah.
kids were looking out for me and my company, and they feel like they are part of it that much that they said, "Listen, you can't put anything out without letting us know," type of thing.
Oh,
So so that
I
that was an
love it.
amazing, yeah, it was really really amazing.
Yeah, and
So
they did have some real valid points on the flyer that was
1000%,
put out, because
absolutely,
they were like, you can't even tell when it is. This event is.
yeah,
This is buried in here. There's too much
yeah.
text. The fonts are there's different types of fonts on here. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. And that's really how me and Mr. and Joe Guerrero met. He was the teacher there. I brought in my company. We started talking, and then we started talking about opportunity, specifically for
Nice.
educators. So my I've always had this passion because of my past experiences with some corporate companies and some other entities. This idea that there are no opportunities out there for teachers to earn more money. And listen, a school district can control a teacher's salary, but it doesn't control the income coming into the household. And I got to tell you, it's been a mindset change to try to get educators to even open up to that world of, listen, you can make extra money on the side, you can hustle, you can grind, you just don't have to stay in a classroom. There are so many opportunities out there with your skill set to do something special. So that's where we came together, and we started talking about this word that I was using in a lot of my presentations. When I would introduce myself, I would always introduce myself as Marcos Navas, the teacherpreneur, this teacher who is an entrepreneur and engaged in a lot of other things outside of there. And shared that with Joe, and I think we just started chasing that idea a little bit deeper, a little bit. How do we turnkey it? How do we do this? How do we do that? And Teacherpreneur was born. So, Joe, why don't we talk a little bit about Teacherpreneur? In a nutshell, what are we trying to do with Teacherpreneur? What's the goal of this whole piece?
Yeah, so Teacherpreneur is for us to empower educators to earn more. And we have two pathways that they can go into where they can earn more. So, through Teacherpreneur, pathway one is for those teachers that essentially are looking for a consultant type of position, where we will partner them with some of our current clients to go into districts and schools and implement and train on our clients' products. So, we all know that there are a lot of startups in the edutech space and
Hmm.
also in the academic space. And these startups struggle because they are doing all of the work. It's usually two, three people, and not only are they looking for new business opportunities, but they also have to spread themselves thin by going in and training on the product, by going in and teaching districts how to implement the product. So, our goal is to take that part of training and implementing off of their plate so they can focus on scaling. And we can provide educators to go into the schools, the districts, and even into private entities
Hmm.
and train and implement on these products because who better than educators? And they know the lingo. They're already familiar with all of the systems that are used in the school. They know how they're all going to connect, and they have a really good idea of how this can be implemented in a classroom if it's a classroom product as a core curriculum or some kind of elective curriculum. So educators are well positioned to be able to do this, and it also offers an extra earnings for the educators. It offers a sort of part-time consulting job. That is our pathway one. Now, pathway two is the entrepreneurship pathway.
Mm.
Many educators that have business ideas but have no business skills or entrepreneurship skills or knowledge. Ironically, I ran into somebody today. She's been an art educator for a very long time, very successful in education, and she just started talking. She just threw it out there. I've always wanted to have a business, but I have no idea what to do. I don't even know how to begin, and I don't want to go work for somebody else because people talk to me about partnering up, but I know that I'm going to wind up working for them and I know nothing about business, nothing about entrepreneurship. Well, this is our pathway too. This is where we come in. We can upskill that person. We can teach them about entrepreneurship. We can teach them about business. We can get them situated. And through our incubator partners, we can connect them with all of the tools they may need to be able to really hit the ground running.
I mean, I think that that's phenomenal because I have to tell you, in my 25 years in education from K through, I used to work at the collegiate level. I've probably done multiple side gigs. I've never not worked, probably 2 or 3 jobs, no matter what. And I think that so many people share the same sentiment. Yes, education is great. There are lots of amazing opportunities that you get to do. And yes, there are some times within a district or a local area that you get to work, make some extra hours, but sometimes those ends don't meet. And I think it's important that we recognize that, you know, Education Weekly, so many of these education based publications are speaking to that. There's an article from 2022 that talks about 16.9% of teachers have a job outside of the school system
Yep.
during the school year so that they can get that work done, so that they can make those end meets for whatever those purposes are. So I love how you told us a little bit about the brainchild and the two paths that people can take. Um, Tell me, how does a person get involved with this or connect to learn about which path works best for them?
Well, you can, an educator could start in pathway one and work with us as a consultant. And I think for a lot of educators, that might be eye opening because a lot
Hmm.
of educators have really, what I find is most educators have gone through school, gone to college, and then go right back into the school, to the education system. It
Mm-hmm.
seems like a lot of them are like that, which is wonderful, you know. But they have never had the experience of interacting with business people. They've never had the experience of interacting or working
Hmm.
with a startup environment. I think pathway one will be very eye opening for those educators, even if they are part time consultants, to see everything that goes into a startup and into developing a business, because they're going to be part of that. They're going to go into these schools and districts and help to implement and train on that stuff, on whatever it is that our client needs, whatever program it is that they've gotten approved through the school district. But to be in that kind of environment will open their eyes to a lot of things and may even spark some ideas. So you can feasibly start in pathway one and then have this great idea and go into pathway two. Or if you're already an educator with a wonderful idea, and just don't know how to implement this thing, don't know where to start. You've been mulling this business idea or this service idea for a while, and you have no idea how to get started. You could go right into our pathway too, and we'll help you develop that.
Wow, that's great. I love having options because I think that's one thing that as educators, folks don't always feel like they have that. And the fact that you're willing to help people make the connect in the space and the way that works best for them,
Yep.
that's really innovative. So, okay, so I can come. I want to open up my own business, right? I'm excited. I feel like there's something I want to do, right? How do I get in touch with you guys? Talk to you, figure out if my plan is a good fit with Teacherpreneur.
Well, we are having a locally here in New Jersey. We're going to be working with one of our incubators, and we're going to have a face to face meetup coming soon. Actually, next week, where we're inviting teachers to come to move the needle, just to hear about the program, and we're taking signups right there. We're working on a model where we eventually be able to bring in people who are not in the local area as well. So again, that's being developed. That's a little bit further down the line. But right off the bat, we also have a website, teacherspreneur.com. We have the meetup happening locally here in Jersey City. I Move the Needle. And again, we are going to be creating social media outlets. We're going to be doing all of that great stuff as well. So stay tuned. We will definitely have all that info out there and share it with you all. But again, that's really where we're looking to do it. And again, we're trying to tap into a workforce that's so underutilized in this country. Period. Like
Mm,
one of the biggest secret weapons in this country is tapping into educators and teachers and students, because that's something we're looking to do as well. Is as we're developing this teacherpreneur program, we have kids tugging at our shirt saying, well, what about us? We have a business idea as well. And that's another group of people that are underutilized is
mm,
students. And because they're in schools and schools traditionally don't offer these type of discussions or opportunities, we are looking to change that up as well, and trying to get kids to launch their own businesses, especially in this day and age.
I mean,
Yeah,
it speaks to what you talked about.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
yeah,
solving the problem.
in addition to Teacherspreneur, we have Studentpreneur, and we already have three
Hmm.
students through Studentpreneur. We've been piloting that. We have one student in particular who's already incorporated and has is going through the incubator, and he's doing pretty well. He's moving really quickly. He's getting in front of investors soon. We have another one that's building out his business too. He's into the clothing business, so he's already had his first grouping of clothing produced, and he's sold some. So we're working with those kids. More immediately, if anyone wants to participate in our meeting next Thursday, it's Thursday, March 28th, from 6 to 8 p.m. The address is 234 16th Street, fourth floor in Jersey City. The entrance is through the back of the building, or you can always text me. I have no issue giving out my number. It's 917-385-6957. Send me a text, tell me it's about Teacherspreneur, and I'm happy to get back to you and give you some more information. Again, our website is www.teacherspreneur, and you can go to the registration page and fill out the information on there, and we will get back to you.
This is exciting. This is wonderful. And so tell me, what is, if you could sum up in a word or a phrase, what is your greatest hope for teacherpreneur and now studentpreneur? Um, what do you hope that it does out in this great world that we have right now?
Uh, I hope it opens the eyes of many people. I hope it inspires them to chase their dreams, and I hope it changes their lives. And not only their lives, because when you go into business and you're able to attain some sort of financial freedom, and freedom of time,
Mm,
because at the end of the day, financial freedom really offers you time freedom, and that's what we're all looking for, because time is the most valuable asset. It not only changes your life, but it changes the lives of the people around you. So we affect one person, we're able to affect their children, we're able to affect their families, and it's just a snowball effect.
Yeah.
so true.
And me personally, I want to see teachers make some money. I mean, I don't have to go into the salaries that teachers are making in this country. We're the ones making the presidents, the future scientists, the future entrepreneurs. And when it comes to the salary side, things are not mathing, as they say nowadays in some circles. So I'm really excited just to see some educators put some money in their pocket. Again, that financial freedom, that time freedom. I just want to see teachers make money. Honestly, I want to give them that opportunity. It's something I always had an eye out in my younger days, was how do I make that extra
Mhm,
dollar here or there? And being able now to be in a position where I'm saying, all right, let's connect you here, let's connect you there, let's put some
mhm.
extra cash into your pocket. For me, I think that is the most rewarding piece of this whole thing.
Listen, I have to go in. I have to ask this. Are there any limitations? So I'm a person, by trade, I work with the arts. And sometimes some of these opportunities come up and they are sometimes exclusive of certain areas of expertise, content areas. Does Teacherpreneur have space for a teacher who teaches anything or wants to do something or connect to maybe something they don't even teach, but an interest area that they have that they would like to expand and develop a product or an idea around?
Yeah, that's exactly what we're here for, is to provide that support to teachers who are in the unknown. We're here to give them our experience. We have a network of clients that are in the space as well, and we can have those conversations of what the client's looking for in a trainer, in a teacher, and then make those connections. And again, the opportunity of giving teachers a chance to expand their horizons, really, and ask questions. That's why we are here. That's why we are providing this service, is to really support teachers who have that niche or that little bug to go above and beyond their classroom, their school district, and get out there and make some extra money. And again, We're sort of vetting some of these teachers as well. You know, we're making sure we're giving them upskilling opportunities to get their game up. So we're trying to give them as many resources and tools for them to up their game personally as well. So
This is
super
great.
excited.
Listen, teachers, listen, paraprofessionals, my security guards, my parent liaisons, anybody working in the confines of education and beyond, come check out this site. I'm so excited for the opportunity to see people multidimensional that you're offering, especially to our teachers. The field is not always easy. It's incredibly rewarding, and it is a labor of love. But people are wanting to go out there and live life to the fullest, and we all know that some cash helps to promote and present some of those opportunities. So, Teacherpreneur is a space. Listen, if you don't know about it, go research it, look it up, inquire. I mean, I have to say that I'm a living witness of watching Marcos. This guy's got his hands on quite a few things. And I'm inspired because I'm like, I am not a teacher. I haven't been for a while, but I do work in education. I'm like, I have ideas, I have some wonders, and I need some support. And this is such an awesome platform that you're offering that really does say, we need your space and your energy to help us solve the problems that are out there in our world. And we know that with a lot of things, teachers sometimes are at the forefront of helping to evolve and make things work.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, Joe, we want to thank you for being part of the Vida Ed Tech podcast to spread the teacherpreneur, not only on our platform, but to the world for creating it, for giving teachers opportunity. And I'm super excited to see where this all goes. I know Joe is as well. But a big thank you to Joe personally from my end. I mean, again, took an idea, hit the floor running with it. He is genius in his own way, and I really, really look forward to working with you, launching this, and seeing where this goes and where it can go.
Yeah, thank you so much, Marcos and Lala, for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Okay, listen,
Awesome,
this is
awesome.
going to be ones. We need to see you back because we want to find out 6 months from now how's it going. Perhaps bring some of those folks who are working with you to share out because, listen, there's one thing we definitely have to do, and that's to continue to intentionally, consistently support our teachers, not only in how they educate our youth, but supporting them as they grow as individuals as well.
Yeah, next time we're gonna have the whole studio full of teacherpreneurs and studentpreneurs. We're gonna bring them back. All right. But Joe, thank you so much for being on the show. And again, we look forward to all of this. Best of luck to the venture. And it's a guaranteed, almost guaranteed hit. I think it's going to be a big thing, guys. So again, teacherspreneurs, teacherspreneur.com. And you'll see all the flyers. And please, if you're in the area, the New Jersey area, in the tri-state area, you're an educator looking to make some extra money, come down to our meetups. This is just the first one, and keep an eye out for our social media handles. We're going to get all that out there very soon. Thank you
Let's
so much.
That is fantastic. Everybody give it up. Guerrero, Marcos Navas, Teacherspreneur. It is cutting edge. Check it out. Be on the lookout for studentpreneurs. I mean, I'm sitting here, they're going to have all types of preneurs out in here. Most importantly, connecting people, talking about relevancy, making sure it's something that makes an impact within your world. That's the goal here at Vida Ed Tech. Not just your place for ed tech, culture, look, preneurism, and so much more. I'm your host, Dr. Latasha Castellala. So glad that you were able to join us. Check us out. Our next episode, we have got great innovators coming to the stage. It's going to be incredible. If you're interested in learning more about Teacherpreneur, the metaverse, Vida Ed Tech, you're going to be able to go ahead, follow us on our social media handles. See us on our YouTube channel and know that the best is yet to come. And if you're interested in being a guest, be sure to check us out, message us, and we'll be sure to get in touch with you. Everyone have a fantastic day, and we'll see you soon here on Vida Ed Tech.